David Wilson, battle tested. I talked about it a little bit before, but I'm going to talk about the importance of attachments and origins, insertions, how the muscle actually works. The body is amazing. The body is truly amazing. Okay, so I'm not going to preach right here, but honestly, if you don't believe in God, go look at the muscle. Go look at how the body works. Go look at the design. There's no way that's just chance. There's no way. Somebody with a lot of thought was put into that. One of the things that you'll see is that it's not just from point A to point B. Because say the bicep. If the bicep was at the top of the shoulder and attached at the elbow, it just would go this. And it'd be very robotic and that's what would happen. But the arm does this. So you have all these things in between that attach a certain place because where the bicep attaches at the inside of the elbow. So it also controls the supination. What's cool is the opposite muscle, the tricep, controls the pronation. So you do this thing where I said it's a fluid movement, which that's a great example because it's a very obvious example. But when it comes to the shoulders, it's one of those things where it becomes really a matter of importance. Shoulders, three heads. You've got I'm going to be front, middle, back. How about that? I'm not going to mention the muscle right now because I can't think of it. If I look tired, that's because I've got 2 days without sleep, still dealing with personal issues. By the way, everything's falling into place. Things are amazing. But the front head is very, very dominant. It likes to take over. The front head gets worked when you do chest, when you do all these different things. So it's hard to isolate those other heads. And it's very important to know what the attachment and the insertion is to know how to work that head. Another great example is the chest. The chest is two muscles. It's not what they call the lower. It's the pec and the upper pec. And those aren't the exact names. It's the anyway, it doesn't matter. Lower, pec and upper. So they split. We have a spot right here where they kind of split. Well, this muscle comes down in design and this muscle comes up. So what happens is when you do a great example is of the incline, where you're actually bringing it up a little bit. What's happening is you're changing the position of the elbow to where it pulls across your chest. So if I did this move right there, a normal bench press or whatever, basically works both parts of the muscle. They pull kind of equally because it pulls right there in the center and they split. The lower, the main pec being the primary move. Wow, long day. Primary mover, it takes dominance. It's the predominant muscle that gets affected. So you have to change that by, I say, moving the front up and bringing an incline. And that way when you bring across, you pull to see the angle comes across, you shoots across. It's the same thing with the shoulder. The shoulder attaches here and attaches on the upper arm bone right here. The thing about it is it doesn't just control this movement or the posterior, this movement itself. It also controls the supination. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down pretty soon. There's a lot of different ways to do the lateral raises that are all kind of interesting. And I'm going to break down and talk about my sides, what I believe, but I'm also going to go through a couple of these other exercises eventually. I'm going to talk about a couple of different things with really good people that have some different ideas, different ways, which is awesome because you can mix up your workouts a lot. For me, it's attached to the top and then comes and attaches at the front of the humerus. God, I'm sorry, I'm really tired. So when it's not just raising the arm, it's also the rotation of the arm. The problem is the supination. It's also if you always like thumbs or pinkies up. That's the big rule. Pinkies up. The idea is you want your elbows up high because once you turn your thumbs up and you bring that elbow down, you take that big dominant front deltoid takes over. So you want to try to keep that out of that as much as possible. We're going to try to isolate this little side weak muscle as much as we possibly can to get the most out of it to cap those delts. Hey, we want to look good naked, bottom line. So what you find is that it's not just a raising, but it's also a twisting of the arm. I like to personally, what I've found is if I bring my dumbbells a little bit forward, so I'm out here, I have a tendency, it's a movement like this, movement like that, not just straight up. So it gives to get a little bit of supination in there too. The other thing is you'll see a lot of people do this. So you get a shrug in there. And what I found is that in this new science and new philosophy, what you'll see taught a lot is to push. You're not just reaching out, but you're pushing out to the corners of the building. So you really extend those shoulders out, so you take it out of your traps and try to keep it in that side delt as much as you can. Try to count those delts. Again, we want to look good naked. Bottom line, that's what it's all about, right? So what I found is, for me personally, to not just come up, but to have that, bring that up to the sides and do that, like I said, you control the supination on the arm too. I very much, and this is time and trial, what I found works best for me is to push a little bit forward. I bend over a little bit and push a little bit forward and bring it up here. And I get a lot more out of that front deltoid. Man, I hope this video makes it. There's a lot of errors going in there. This will be my blooper reel. But that side deltoid, that anterior deltoid, so it gets a very much more full effect. Anything you do to eat those other muscles out of it is a great thing. Like I said, especially that front head is hard to keep out of it. It gets a lot of work. In fact, personally, I don't do anything for my front delt. I get so much out of chest and what I do is shoulders that I'm not going to be the Mr. Olympia. I'm not looking to be Mr. Olympia. I don't need a huge front delt. I just want my shoulders to look wider and broader. So, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to get out here. We're going to get our dumbbells, hands down to the side, straight out as far as you can to the side. But like I said, you'll do work on a rotation. So it's not just here, but here and up. All right, that's my little pointer. That's my take. I'm going to give you some other guys. I'm going to talk about Charles Glass. I'm going to talk about Ben Pekulski, what they believe. I'm going to do a hypertrophy coach and show you what he believes. Give you some different exercises to do to throw in there. Change it up a little bit, mix it up. I think that's about it. David Balson, Battle Tested, out.